literally the images, Syed Asad Abbas, of the last 24 hours make it seem like सीधे ओए होए से मोए मोए हो गया.
I must also tell you this, Padmaja ji, the BJP spokesperson been doing a fantastic job as ED spokesperson. Anyway, dono to ek hi baat hai, ki fark penda hai, oye hoye ya moye moye. Now coming straight to the point, we are absolutely aware, देश की जनता दिल वालों की तरह दिमाग वालों भी है. क्योंकि आपको बता दूं, let me just quickly read out the Rouse Avenue Court.
Hold on a second. Before you do that, hold on a second. Why are you choosing to read out the Rouse Avenue Court's order only? Why aren't you, for example, quoting what ASG has said in court? You can't choose which judgment you like. No, you are like, bhai, main to Rouse Avenue Court ko padhunga. Rouse Avenue Court to stay ho gaya. That order has been stayed.
पहले सेशन कोर्ट का ही बोलने नहीं दे रहे हैं आप. दिल्ली कोर्ट तो दूर की बात है, सेशन कोर्ट का भी बोलूंगा, दिल्ली कोर्ट का भी बोलूंगा, दोनों को खुश करूंगा.
Okay, go on.
Okay. So this very scenario constrains the court to draw an interference against the investigating agency that it is not acting without bias. The same enforcement directorate that without even getting a copy of the trial court order bail, they are so swift. PT Usha se bhi tez, Milkha Singh se bhi tez, they reach the Delhi High Court challenging, but over the last 2 years, they've not been able to get one single evidence against Arvind Kejriwal. No money trail against Arvind Kejriwal. Raid parade, kya mila? Henga? Kuch nahi. संजू वर्मा जी, मैं आपको बधाई देना चाहूंगा, आप बड़ा जबरदस्त काम कर रहे हैं एनफोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट का स्पोक्सपर्सन बन के, आपको बधाई हो. और उसके साथ साथ आपको मैं बता दूं, the fact of the matter also, let me tell you Padmaja ji, जो ASG साहब है, राजू साहब, उनकी बहुत सारी बातें हैं जिसपे मुझे पूरा I have full faith in the ASG as well as Abhishek Manu Singhvi. I am sure the Delhi High Court after 2 to 3 days will pronounce the right verdict on the same
so
front.
If you have such great faith in the Delhi High Court, you should not be quoting from the lower court's order at all, because as things stand right now, that order is infructuous. It has been stayed. Arvind Kejriwal has not been given bail. So literally what you have said in the last 3 minutes is infructuous.
No, did Delhi High Court say that the High Court order of the Rouse Avenue Court is null and void?
No, the Delhi High Court has stayed it, which means that they have, let's make it very simple. Essentially, what did the ASG go and say in the Delhi High Court? We have evidence. It wasn't considered in its entirety. This is a perverse order. It's a very strong word. That is a perverse order. And the High Court said, okay, let's stay this order. We will consider all the evidence that you are putting out. So essentially, those findings have been struck down, sir. That is what it means. But I want to ask this to Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, the BJP says again, and I'll come back to you, the BJP says again and again, we should trust the court. When you go to the Delhi High Court and call a lower court's order perverse, are you casting aspersions on the judge? You're almost making it seem as if the judge acted in malafide.
Padmaja, I will quote both the lower court and the Delhi High Court. I will not be selective in what I choose to quote on your show. First and foremost, yesterday, when Arvind Kejriwal's counsel, Vikram Chaudhary, he categorically told ASG Raju that Kejriwal is not directly involved in money laundering pertaining to the Delhi liquor scam. What did ASG Raju say? He told the court and he told Kejriwal's counsel Vikram Chaudhary, you as in Kejriwal may not be directly involved in the offense, but the Aam Aadmi Party is culpable of the offense, and we all know who controls the affairs of the Aam Aadmi Party by virtue of being the convener of the Aam Aadmi Party, and hence under section 70 of the PMLA, you are as much liable for the offense as the party that you held. These are the words of ASG Raju to Kejriwal's counsel Vikram Chaudhary. So on the floor of the lower court also, ASG Raju had said, let there be a deferral on Kejriwal's bail application for 48 hours. But Judge Bindu refused to give a deferral. And it is then that the ED and the ED's counsel, Mr. Raju, on the floor of the House said that they are going to contest this. So यहां पर कुछ बैक एंड फोर्थ नहीं है। कल ही कोर्ट में एसजी राजू ने क्लियरली कहा था हम इसको कॉन्टेस्ट करेंगे इन दी हायर कोर्ट, विच इज व्हाट दे डिड 24 आवर्स हेंस। पॉइंट नंबर 1. Point number 2, I have been on a zillion debates where there have been verdicts which have gone against the BJP, and I have always maintained one line: the BJP does not run the judiciary, the courts are independent. Let us not second guess and undermine our criminal jurisprudence system, and I maintain that today. But it is very important for me to read out point number 16, page number 17 के सिर्फ 3 या 4 lines to put in perspective how the order by Judge Bindu was indeed perverse, was indeed not a reasoned order and not a sound order, because these are the terms that were repeatedly used by ASG Raju while defending the ED's case. Judge Bindu has said in point number 16, admittedly the present matter is a peculiar case wherein various accused witnesses and stakeholders are involved, and neither ED nor the defense wants the order to be passed in favor of the other. However, it is not possible to go through these thousands of pages of the documents at this juncture, but this is the duty of the court to work upon the matter, whichever comes for consideration, and pass the order in accordance with the law. The key words are, she herself admits that it was not possible for her to go through thousands of pages of documents.
Okay.
यहाँ पर जब जज बिंदु खुद मान रही है, documents were not introspected upon, they were not properly dissected, they were not properly even browsed through. Do you expect the ED not to contest such a perverse order?
Okay.
The ED has done what it should have done.
So, MC Abbas, the judge says, I haven't gone through all of the documents, but I am going to pass the order. The government goes back and says, madam, we have the evidence. We want somebody else. If not you, we want the Delhi High Court to go through the evidence. Don't say this man is innocent because there is no evidence. This man, whether he's innocent or not, can only be judged after looking at evidence. You don't want to see it, MC Abbas, we will show it to the Delhi High Court. How is this dictatorship? भाई एविडेंस तो दिखाएगी ना सरकार।
Parbaja ji, I think, Sanju ji is a spokesperson. I am an analyst. You're an anchor. It's absolutely unfair, wrong, and highly condemnable if we judge the judges like Nyay Bindu. It's absolutely unfortunate that we are casting aspersions. She has all the wisdom in every manner to take her decisions.
As does the Delhi High Court.
Supreme Court.
As does the Delhi High Court. So if you are calling the Delhi High Court staying of bail as dictatorship, you are casting aspersions on the Delhi High Court.
Allow me to continue. The fact of the matter is, Sanju Verma ji said that, I will not be selective, I will quote both. Why don't you quote Sanju ji? ED spokesperson, why don't you quote? Are you acting without bias? ED, are you acting without bias, yes or no? You don't say anything on that. Rouse Avenue Court did say that ED is not acting without bias. And the final point, the fact of the matter, चलिए मान लेते हैं पूरी आम आदमी पार्टी गंदी है, गलत है, भ्रष्ट है, करप्ट मिली हुई है. But थोड़ा evidence तो दिखाइए मोहतरमा.
Interesting that you say that. Let me quote to you. You talk about evidence. Evidence तो उन्होंने voluminous documents में दिया था ना, जो किसी ने पढ़ा नहीं. And here is what the ASG, Tushar Gupta will come in on this. Here is what the ASG said in court. I will show each para of trial court's order and show how perverse it is. You can decide against me, but don't give wrong findings. The order says ED failed to give direct evidence. We have given direct evidence. Statement of Magunta Reddy is there. You can decide against me, but don't give wrong findings. We have direct evidence. Again, when Benjamin Franklin was quoted, the ASG said, this is a trial stage. At the stage of trial, this quote applies. No innocent person should be punished. What is this? Is this to be considered during bail? At trial stage, you cannot talk about innocence and guilt. This is still a trial. And the third argument made in the order, sir, is that the man is holding a constitutional chair. Is holding of constitutional chair a ground of granting bail? Then any PM, CM should be granted bail in all cases. Such perverse findings. Is the government not well within its rights to at least argue that you cannot make broad sweep statements?